Good morning! You join me under a beautiful blue sky here in Cheshire, and I thought I'd get myself, for the start of 2024, something that was, you know, easy, familiar, didn't need much work, probably a very reliable car to start with, just a few things like that, you know. And then what I actually did was buy this Rover 100 completely without seeing it. I got a text message from the guy that sometimes delivers cars for me and stuff, and he said, Ben, I've got this thing here. Sent me a picture of it and said, do you want it? It's pretty straight, it's complete. Is it? And I said, yeah, I was busy at the time, it was over Christmas. I just said, yeah, drop it down at the workshop. Thanks very much. So he did, and this is where it's been sat since. And this is the first time that I've laid eyes on this car. So let's take a little look around it and see what I've actually gone and bought, because it wasn't cheap either. So my first impression when I laid my eyes on this green looking white thing was this bonnet badge. Now, I've never seen one of these P4 Rovers up close. This is a P4, it's just like a model number, like an E36 BMW. You've seen P6 Rovers and things. Well, this is a P4, but it's a 100, and that sort of denotes like how far up the, you know, is it good or not scale the car is. This one's got a 2.6 litre, apparently, engine in it, under there somewhere. We're probably going to have a look and check, but a lot of them came with this badge. Now, this badge is cool as hell because obviously I'm a Viking, so I like Viking stuff. And this is the Rover's sort of, I don't know why they did it. They were just like, Vikings are cool. Their name was Rover, which sort of meant like roving across the land and all this sort of stuff, like Vikings did. And that's why they adopted that mascot. There's nothing more to it than that, really, which I quite like, but I think that's super cool. Now, while we're at the front of this, but it's covered in ice. It's freezing cold. Great. Ow. There's a couple of really good features about this car. This is aluminium. Well, it's an alloy, aluminium and magnesium, and it means that the car, these bits don't rust as much, which I think is doors, the bonnet and the boot lid. Don't know what the rest of the car's like, but these bits should be pretty solid, at least. This looks okay. I mean, some little brown bits, and I have started to notice some little, like, brush strokes in the paint. I hope this thing hasn't been brush painted. Right, let's have a look at the rest of it. Quite a few colours of paint under there. I wonder what colour this car was originally. Is it any of these? Is it blue? Is it red? Is it white? I just don't know. The wings, steel, I think. This tyre looks in fantastic condition. Really, really good. It's a shame it's not on the rim anymore. Under there looks as okay as I want to look at it for now. Rover Drivers Guild. It's a guild, not a club. Look at these are cool. These sit on little roll. Oh, it's pretty nasty. Oh, delicious. But look, they sit on little rollers which sit in this bit here, and they sort of roll up over. I don't know how they're going to work. I've never had a car with those before, so I'm interested to find out. Look at this roof. It's so, why do I do this when it's so cold? Now, there is little bits of paint flaking and stuff, and I can see different, something's definitely happened there with the paint. I don't know what it is. I'm kind of looking forward to washing it, because this is very, very green, but it's just how we like them on Tasty Classics, isn't it? You know, just like really disgusting, and then we make them less disgusting, potentially. All looks in good shape though, doesn't it? You know, like the rear quarters and stuff. I can't see any big rust holes or anything, which is a great start. Don't think that's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like that. It's a bit of a shame. Nice reg, JFO 209. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it does look a little bit brush strokey in places, doesn't it? I don't know how well that's coming across on camera. But again, no big holes or anything, which is impressive, especially with this being a 1962 car. So it's been around for ages, like 62 years. It's from 1960, is that right? Yeah, it's from 1962. It's 2024 and it's 62 years old. How cool is that? But yeah, I like 60s cars. My truck's 60s. I think they're very cool. That wheel's not on its rim either. I mean, that tyre. Oh God. Why not? It all looks to be there, doesn't it? Apart from quite a lot of missing trim, which I hope to God is in the car. I didn't get loads with this car, but what I did get was 2 keys, one of which looks kind of like the key that you have for your house. Maybe someone's been living in there. And I got an owner's manual, sort of repair manual, and I got a V5 logbook. What more could I possibly want? Maybe tyres that were attached to the wheels. I don't know. And apparently there is a lot of parts inside, which we're going to get stuck into in a second. The reason the car has come to be laid up here is, I think, again, this is a very small amount of words I had from my delivery guy. English isn't his first language, and sort of getting real in-depth information out of him as to how cars have sort of come about isn't that easy, but I tried. And I think what has happened is that the person who owned this car was getting on a little bit in age and decided to start doing a bit of a more in-depth restoration on it. And what actually happened was they dismantled the car and sort of left it, well, for dead really, parked outside their house, which is how it got like this. And so my friend came along and picked the car up and took it away and gave them some money for it, probably a fraction of what I paid him. So yeah, legend has it, it's got an engine. I haven't tried it. Why haven't I tried it? I should have tried it. I haven't tried it, but apparently there's an engine in there and it should be free. And there's a car full of spares and all the bits and stuff. So I think we should try these keys, take a look inside and see what we've got. One of the more interesting things about this car are the doors are unfortunately suicidal, which means they open sort of my hands are starting to stop working already. That would open that way if it opened. Ow. Getting a real damp sort of smell from this car. Is it watertight? I'm not sure. Oh, doesn't smell too bad. Kind of smells like my gusset after a particularly heavy night dancing. Please just be locked, don't be stuck. Please just be locked. Oh, the headlining looks good. Oh, yes! Interior door handle. Why is that blue? I have a feeling of confusion. What are they for? There's loads of like aluminium bits of sheets and stuff. Do you have a look? Yeah, so as you can see, a real sort of suicide door approach, which is pretty fascinating, isn't it? Love this wood. Real nice bit of wood. Really good. And these again look like they probably clean up quite well, don't they? Now, I don't know what this... Oh, that looks like the... Ah, right, okay. So that, let's just take it around here. Is that like maybe something... I don't know. I don't know what that's for. I think it goes underneath. What's in there? A jump lead. Oh, is that a light lens? Oh, nice, is that the same one? It's missing something, I think. Ah, nice, okay, so that's like the bottom of it. Okay, okay, cooking on gas here. Maybe we just need to find the top bit. These seats again look pretty... So this is blue. That's not blue. Blue paint. Ah, black paint. Someone's tried to paint over the blue with black. Yeah, you can see bits of blue everywhere, so maybe they're trying to just change it to black leather. Interesting. I wonder if we could finish that off. It does look very damp, but fairly solid. Look at this headliner. There's ice in the back there, can you see that? This headliner is in really good nick. Really, really good. But yeah, lots of stuff. Are these... I get the feeling these might be like wheel arch liners or something, I don't know. Yeah. What's this? Okay. See, what's happening is I'm pulling on this and the whole bench seat's coming with it. Crazy. Right, okay, well let's leave that there for the moment. Nothing else interesting I can see. I'll leave that open actually. Are your fingers going numb? My fingers are going numb. Right. Ah, that was easy. Instant gratification when I opened the boot then. It's cold. Perfect. Practically finished. Stick 12 volts up to it, or 14, 16, 18 volts, something like that. Twist the key, drive her home. Big old air filter type thing. Box of stuff. Some spares, door handles. Oh yes, that's a chrome set. Oh look, it's all coming together. Overriders. One thing I have noticed though is that I remember there is another couple of parts lying around somewhere, but I can only see one bumper in there and we are missing two bumpers. I have to buy a bumper. Antifreeze. Very handy little pouring jug. Keep that. Ah, and we have an electronic fuel pump. Let me show you. So as you can see there, ignore that hole, I think that's supposed to be there. You can see it's got like a tab on it and stuff, so I think a plate goes over that or something. That's what I'm going to say anyway. But there's like, maybe that's where a fuel pump used to go, and they've put this without any Jubilee clips on it, this electric job. I wonder if that's going to work. Who knows? Guess we'll find out. What does that do? Oh, it's a big jack. Is it a jack? Yeah, it is. It's a jack. It's one of those ones that slide into the sills. Again though, this all looks in really good nick. I hope this is going to clean up okay. Showing about this bloody, what I can see is, where, good example. See, paintwork's just not the best under there, but you know, as long as it looks half presentable, that's all that matters, isn't it? Right, can we get in here? That's a negative 10.4. Okay. Into the drivers. And yeah, it looks dead nice as well, doesn't it? Nice Rover catalogue. So yeah, you've got 80, 100, you had 110, you had loads of different types, but this is brilliant. All the tech spec and drawings of the car, which is going to be so handy for us, isn't it? Really, really good. But yeah, Uno bumper. Right, look at this steering wheel. Oh, steering wheel seems to be attached to the front wheels, I think. Doesn't want to... We'll just leave that. But look, you can see another Rover Viking there. Roaming the land, roving the land. Look at these gauges. Can we see any miles? 89,097. Is that real? And a lot of these here, aftermarket SP or GP Smiths gauges, maybe made their own cluster there. Cold start fan, fresh air. Nice. Wiper panel. Is that a little horn ring? Yeah, cool as, cool as. I hope it all works. What's this down here? Oh, handbrake. Nice. Pedals, 3 pedals that are in the up position. I wonder how good they're going to be. Right, how do we get into this bonnet? Fortunately, the sun's starting to come around here now and remove the ice from over my eyes. Oh, that came up easier than I thought it would. It's very light, being aluminium, magnesium. I mean, the good news is the engine's there. I think that's... Ow, sharp. That's that bit. Yeah, okay. Did you get it? Yeah, that's that bit. Needs one of these caps. It's just been letting all sorts of mice live inside there. That's good. Battery. That's a big. Is that a turbo? I think it's got a turbo on it. One of those electric turbos from China, probably. I don't know. The battery cables present and correct. That's good. This earth, this V8, is that another turbo? Oh, maybe that's a supercharger. Turbo supercharger. Surely. Okay, very cool. Has this bonnet got a prop? Can I keep it open somehow? Oh, massive supercharger turbo setup here. Really cool, isn't it? Unless it's the heater for inside the cabin. Surely not. And yeah, look at that. That's the biggest one of these I've ever seen. But we have got battery cables. What does that mean? This V8. We've got just sort of loosely lying around electronics. Maybe that was supposed to go on there, look. Look, that's another thing fixed. Look how quickly we're fixing things. We're gonna be driving home in this later on. And yeah, dizzy cap. I don't want to have a look inside there yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cylinders in a row. Got belts down there. And I know there's another exhaust manifold in there, but it's got an exhaust manifold on it, unless this one's buggered and that was a replacement one. Who knows? What's round here? Oh God, this fills you with confidence, doesn't it? What the hell's all this? Some sort of starter solenoid-y type thing? I don't know. That doesn't look great. Okay, we're going to do brakes as well then. That's good, isn't it? Okay, whoops. I didn't mean to take that off there, but I just did. I'll put that back on. I don't think that's supposed to go on there. It doesn't look like it fits. Alternator down there with just another load of wires resting on it. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at that. Looks like I've been working on this thing. I've been here before. Did I put this car together originally? Okay, big old block. And a lot of sketchy stuff to get my head around. How fun. Before I do anything at all on this car, I just want to check that this engine spins over. Because if it doesn't, we've got oil. You know, it's A colour. Smells like raping and pillaging, which is what Rover Viking oil is supposed to smell like, I think. Does this engine turn over? I have also noticed there is no fan at all on the front of this engine. There was no fan. Why is there just not a fan on it? Am I missing something? Is there supposed to be a fan on it? Right, can I just turn it over using... Oh, it's got a starting handle thing. Where is that? Is that inside? Maybe we don't need a battery anyway. Let's just chuck this in and... we'll be on our way. Right, starting handle in position. Come on, baby. Oh, yes! We have spinach. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's tight. Oh, why has it stopped spinning? Why? Why have you stopped spinning? Oh, Jesus Christ. Doesn't want to spin any further than that. But it did move. Just looking around this spark plug here, and it's just thick with ice. I'm hoping that, I don't know what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it just turns over properly. Got to take the spark plugs out, spray some stuff down it, I think, and maybe leave it to warm up in the sun because it might be frozen. I can't see around the block to see if any like core plugs have leaked out of anything. Doesn't look like there's any water in the radiator, but if there's been water left in with no antifreeze, it might be locked up somewhere because of that. And yeah, bizarre that there's no fan. Very, very interesting. I'm not even going to be able to get that out because it's thick with ice. Oh God. Right, I'm going to spray a load of stuff down these just to free the spark plugs up. And then, while I'm doing that, I'm going to empty the car, find out what we've got, see if we've got a fan lurking anywhere, you know. It's so annoying that I don't have anywhere like a real nice, sort of clean, dry, warm workshop where I could work. I've just got to work out here on the mud, you know. Not ideal. Anyway, let me show you these couple of little bits here that are really nice. I found from the car, that and this thing here, but no other bumper. But these are pretty cool, aren't they? We'll have a look at those in more detail later on, but yeah, no other bumper. Quite a bit of cool stuff, but we are missing some vital components. Another bumper, another overrider. However, in this Morrison's bag, there's this little parcel. Oh, come on. Look at that. I mean, we love a good hubcap, don't we? Oh, man alive. Gorgeous, gorgeous hubcap. Really nice, really nice. I'm hoping there's another 3 in there, but I'll have a look later. Just some of the little tools and bits. So yeah, that's everything out the car. Do you ever get the feeling you're bitten off more than you can chew? So, look, ideally what I want to do, believe it or not, with this car, is I would like to soon get this thing running, driving, stopping, turning, all that good stuff. And I would love, like we did with the Reliant Scimitar, to take this thing back to where it was made. Now this was made in a plant in Solihull near Birmingham, which is quite a lot of miles away from here, but I think it's doable. I need to get some parts on order. I need to get this engine freed and running. I don't know if it's seized or not. It moved a bit and then it stopped. You know, we need to just have a bit more of a look. Now I'm going to try and get the spark plugs out, soak everything in plus gas, and I'm going to start writing a list of what I'm going to need, and because it's Sunday today, tomorrow I can spend the morning trying to find all these parts, trying to order stuff, and then we'll get stuck back into it, hook a battery up to it and all that cool stuff. This, oh no, the ice is starting to melt on that one now, which is good, isn't it? Should we try and turn it over again just for fun? The annoying thing about the way this turning stick is designed is you can't go backwards, you can only go one way. Okay. Fills you with confidence, doesn't it? Right, okay, let's pull these plug leads off. All different as well, look at them. Red and black, and this one's all sorts of colour. That one's got feathers in it. We're going to need everything for this car. What's it look like under here, I wonder? Oh no! It's got the power spark electronic ignition. I wonder if that works. I doubt it. Is it just a case of just we buy another distributor for it, like we did with the thing, and just plonk that in, and you know, we don't have to worry about whether or not this thing's actually working or not? Because I hate them. And if you've ever worked on classic cars, lots of different ones, lots of the time, you'll know that these things are great when they work. When they don't, they can be big head scratchers, you know, whereas points are quite easy to diagnose. But this is all electronics and smoke and mirrors, and you can't see it working because it works off magnets and things, or whatever. I don't know. What's this? Don't know, but it looks like it's pretty firmly attached. Everything's just like wired up with chocky blocks and things, and look at this. I don't even know where that goes. Look, there's so many chocky blocks in series here. Where does that even go? Oh my god, it goes to another chocky block. This is going to be an absolute headache, isn't it? Anyway, right, let me get the spark plug spanners and we'll take these out, you know. What is that? Bloody hell, it looks like a spark plug lead off a nuclear submarine or something. Right, and I'll get some pictures of stuff as well. Why is that loose as well? Oh, for fuck. Is that just going to come out? No, I better not take it out. Right, okay. Here we go. Here we go again. It's black. It's all there. It's only wet because of the plus gas and the ice and the water and the mud, but fine. Looks great. Okay. At least they're not seized in. Well, at least those two aren't seized in. Why do I always say things? 153624, what do you reckon that means? How many miles it's actually done? Okay, I mean that one is covered in all sorts of detritus. That's great news. I can't get into... that one's full of water. Let's get something to soak that water away. This ice coming out of here. Go away. Why am I working on cars that have got ice in the spark plug holes? What am I gaining from this? It's Sunday, I should be in church or at home watching an EastEnders omnibus. Only joke, I've never watched an episode of EastEnders in my life. Oh God, please God, why? Please God, let this cylinder live. Please. If you do anything for me, just let this cylinder live. The more I stare at this distributor as well, the worse it gets. I mean, it has literally just been hacked to pieces, like. Oh God, I think a cheap Chinese distributor might be the way forwards. Oh my god, oh, looks like brand new. Maybe he got around to changing like one spark plug and then thought, forget it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why is there no fan? Is there a fan in the engine bay somewhere? Have I bought a lemon? Probably. My track record is anything to go by. Now I'm looking at this, and this is just oil. There's nothing, there's no water in there or anything. Now because that's that weird starty handle job, I can't just stick a socket on it, which is annoying because I want to see if it rolls, if the engine rolls backwards. Can I do that? Oh. I've just found out the bloody alternator's not connected either. Just moved. Is anything connected in this car? Should I remove this radiator? Look at this earth! Look at that earth! Why is everything going to be so hard? Right, come on. Come on! I can't. Funnily enough, I can't move this 2.6 litre engine over by hand. What a shame. If you get bomb on anything. Okay. My only saving grace is it did move a little bit. It can't be locked completely solid. Let's get this big. I don't even know what this is. Big thing off. So we've got an old style SU car by the looks of it. Oh Jesus. What are all these? You know, vacuum lines made out of metal. So the throttle's free, which is interesting because I was just seeing if it was going to be full of, I don't know, like a mouse house or something in there, but it does seem free. So let's be real for a second. This is what we're dealing with here. We have got, I don't know what any of that is, this thing here, devil's work, which is also just not properly attached to anything, and everything's falling apart inside there, so that's great. Everything's wired in with chocky blocks, most of which have been melted, and then they go into other chocky blocks, and then they finally go into the actual loom down there. Nothing's really properly attached. Water pump does spin, but there's no fan on it, as you can see. None of these things look like they fit properly. I mean, that's a massive bit of hose for that small sort of tube there. Doesn't really work. There's a lot of you know, make a gasket at home type vibes. That's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. So yeah, so far so good. Now I know the engine doesn't turn over and stuff, but I've gone and spent 80 quid already. So yeah, this distributor is a Lucas DMB Z6A, as you can see there, which is quite a rare bit of kit. And it's also, it was loose in there because it snapped on there, so I'm hoping that's not a problem on the cast and we'll just be able to put it all back together and forget about it. But this thing's dead. It's just, it makes a horrible noise when you turn it, and it's just falling apart everywhere. And yeah, it's just, look, there's bits, can you see? It wants thrown in the bin and starting again. So I've ordered a points-based distributor for 40 quid from Power Spark as well, actually, so fair play to them. I hope it's good. And yeah, so we're going to get one of those, and I've also ordered a new set of HT leads for it. Now, I couldn't get a replacement one of these, so what I've got is a Lucas, I can't remember the exact code, 25D, Lucas 25D6P, because it's got points, which should slot into there and work, so I'm told. Because the only other one of those I found was about 300 quid shipped. Great. So yeah, the engine doesn't turn over. I'm gonna have a little bit more of a play with it. Do we stick a battery on this thing? Do we see if we've got any life in it? I'm just concerned about all this wiring. I don't really want to set anything on fire, but at the same time I also want to set something on fire. Now, I found this battery on the floor over there, and I don't think it's going to have any charge in it, but I've got this, but I'm going to put it on anyway, so then we've got circuit or something. I don't know anything, I don't know what I'm doing. Why don't I just get like an easy car? What's that? Do I need this bit of wood? Yeah. It's going well, isn't it? Right, let's just install that using the correct torque. Perfect. You know, they said like if you put 1,000,000 monkeys in a room with 1,000,000 typewriters, that eventually they'll write the entire works of Shakespeare or something like that. I wonder how many monkeys you'd have to put in a room to get this thing running properly. Hopefully just the one. Right, so if I hold this button down, we're going to send voltage through the car. Doesn't want to admit that there is a circuit there. Why is it being like this? Are we earthing something on something? Are we ruining everything? Is there no... None of this is attached. Just get the keys, see if there's anything going on in there. Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, okay, we'll skirt around that for the moment. No electricity, anything. That is going down to this little distribution block here, which in turn is going up into there. But I have no power to anything. Right, okay, so that's obviously nothing's connecting that, whatever this thing is. So where does that go then? Does that have a special place that it lives? Why is it just floating around in space? What's it for? Is this where we should look in that owner's manual to fix it? Nothing setting on fire right now. Oh! Sparks down here, move all that. This has some life in something. Right, so what? Let me just have a work out of what this block's for. If it's supposed to be on a switch, you know, for like some cars have, the Panhard had it, where you can switch the battery on and off. And I think that's what this is supposed to be, but I just can't obviously see where it's supposed to go. So let me have a little look, and I'll get back to you. This is super interesting. So I've just gone to get the sort of manual. There's a lot of interesting stuff written on here. Molesworth Motor Museum, which is just down the road from us, weirdly. JFO 209, which is the reg of the car. Help Andrew Linus. And then a telephone number, which I've got my thumb over, so you can't see it, and ring them and do prank calls. So potentially I've got a connection there. I could ring this person and say, what do you know about this car? So there is potential of some history there, which is really good, isn't it? Simply reversing polarity of battery if not changing flat over in the field generator to get its result. Yeah, okay. But it's still stuff going on and whatever. Okay, well, that was absolutely no help. What about this one? Oh look, the Rover company, Solihull, Warwickshire. That's where we're going to go. In this car? I don't know. That's what it should look like. Really smart. Lovely, lovely, lovely thing. It's a nice little starting procedure there, telling us about how to start the engine. Doesn't mention anything about the sort of having to replace the entire ignition system and unseizing the engine, but I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Interesting, nothing in there either about this little thing. Just not at all sure where it's supposed to go. It does mention though that the battery is supposed to be under the back seats, which it isn't. Okay, a little bit more digging. So I had a look round and I just can't find anything with that on it. I don't think this is for this car. It's not mentioned in the parts catalogue anywhere. I just don't know. But I've found the bit inside it very useful, and I've just connected the two wires straight up there. So now I'm going to plug this in and hope this doesn't touch anything. I should probably put some tape around that. But anyway, oh, bit of smoke. Let's just... Is anything setting on fire? That is live, man. That's live. Can I unplug this? There we go. Nothing else seems to be setting on fire immediately, which is great news. So see if anything works inside. I mean, bearing in mind we haven't even got 12 volts out of this battery. Oh my god, we do have lights though. Oh, hello. So I think what I can only work out, what I can only assume, is that that other lid in there used to live there. And someone's built a cool thing here full of all sorts of gauges, including a rev counter, which is really smart. But obviously the fit and finish on it isn't perfect. Now I think other stuff has happened with the ignition system, and that's why. Anyway, okay, you get it, you get the idea. It's been messed about with, hasn't it? Right, so the ignition is on, ignition is off. Don't know what that does. Wiper. That doesn't work. But again, bearing in mind there isn't a... Oh, what's that? I can hear the relay for the horn. Nice little 4-speed. I'm sure there's overdrive on this somewhere. Oh, good God, look at that down there. Is that just a rubber boot? Yeah, it's a plastic rubber boot. Might have to look for one of those as well, but it seems to be going in and out of gear. What does that do down there? Oh, it's a washer jet. Did you see that then? Oh, that little pot. Incredible. No wipers though. Oh, this is a fuel and oil that's sitting like half a tank or something when I press it. Interesting. Lamps. A little yellow light comes on. What is that? What lamps though? What lamps? Any lamps or anything? Oh, we've got a couple of lights there. We've got a light up inside there. I don't know if you can see. Oh my god, this is... What's that? The fuel pump's on. The fuel pump is doing something. Nothing is on fire, nothing's on fire. Right, so... Is that working? Oh wow, we've got light in there. We haven't got light in there. All this stuff is really concerning, but anyway, whatever. Any indicators? I'm sure that one's indicators. No, no indicators, but let's not get greedy, okay? Right, are we going to try and crank her? Might as well, got nothing to lose, have we? I mean, the good thing is the start motor's trying to do something. The bad news is the engine is pretty seized, isn't it? Let's try and just stick a few more, bit more oomph through it. Oh, I can hear it. Oh, something's smoking. Something is having a little smoke over there. That's the starter motor getting a bit hot, I think. Just trying desperately to roll this big old lump over. Oh, it's getting close though, wasn't it? Let's give it another couple of tries because I'm sure it did try and go. I'm sure it did. Let's maybe try the clutch if I dare. It should be out of gear though. Can't tell, the gears feel awful. Right, first, second, third. Gears do not feel good. Reverse possibly. Right, I'm going to try this clutch. You ready? Please, 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 please. Okay. I mean, it feels like a springy clutch pedal. I don't know if it's doing anything or not. Oh, come on. Did you hear it go then? Interesting. Okay, I don't want to mess about with that anymore. I'm sure it tried to though. How very interesting. Sun is setting in the west. Things need to be done. I'm going to tidy everything up, stick some more fluid down the fluid holes, 6 of them in the engine, pray to God that it unsticks itself, and then yeah, we're going to revisit this in the morning or in the afternoon after I've ordered some more parts. Now, if it doesn't unstick itself, I need to try and roll the engine backwards, which might mean taking the radiator out and sort of getting on the crank somehow and spinning it over that way. So there are things we can do, because if we can spin it over backwards, maybe the valve will come down. If it is a valve that's stuck rather than a piston, just don't know. We could even take the rocker cover off if we can get any rotation and see what things are doing, see if any of them are stuck, and try hitting them with hammers and things. So there is things we can do, but for now, it's very, very cold. I'm going home. I'll see you in the morning, but for you, a few seconds. Bye. Good afternoon. Engine's still seized then. If I can get this on a flat edge of the crank pulley and have space to turn it, I might not have to take the radiator out. Please, just watch this on. Oh yeah. Oh. Was that the engine moving then? I wasn't watching. Something did move though. Oh God, it was just the fucking bolts. Bollocks. Oh God. I hope this isn't properly locked up, you know. Yeah, it's just the nut. maybe that's just what I was turning yesterday. Wasn't the actual crank at all. Next up, I think, is taking the rocker cover off and having a little look at what's going on in there. See if there's any telltale signs, seeing if it's all brown and rusty or not, you know. Not sure that was supposed to be hang tight, but it was. What about this one? Has someone been here before? Well, I mean, someone's definitely been here before, but do they know this thing was seized? It's got some sealant around it. It does look in really good shape in there. Oh God. I can move all of them apart from that one at the end. Interesting. It's going really well, isn't it? This is the Start Your Bastard 9000. Now, oh, I can hear it boiling already. I can try and crank this thing over. Now it's got a lot more ampage and stuff up it, and we'll see if it makes any different noises, if it tries, you know. Even the Start Your Bastard 9000 couldn't shift it. Crikey. Right, okay. So, as you can see down here, I think, you've got your water pump pulley there, which I can't get anything around, can't get any sort of proper grip on that anyway. And then down here, you've got your crank pulley, but it's just a perfectly spherical thing. And again, I don't know if you can see, but you can only spin it one way, and when I try and put something around this, it just undoes this, which is not ideal. So unless there's a nut behind it, I haven't thought of that, have I? Right, okay, let me have a little think about that. Could also try that, couldn't I? Anyway, I just tried to turn it using the fan, and then this happened. Look, least of our worries really, isn't it? Right, maybe I concentrate and carry on getting this thing out. I've also got some old petrol and diesel mixture in there from a car that had the wrong fuel put in it, and I'm tempted to just throw it down all the cylinders while we're waiting, but I've put loads of plus gas down them. Plus gas is good. I've unseized engines just with plus gas before, but might help us. We can drain it all out anyway as soon as if we get it to turn over. This is also going to be real nice. Again, if it does work, we'll crank it a few times, the spark plugs out, and just a bit of a, hopefully just clean load of crap out of there, you know. Push it down the exhaust or whatever. I feel like for some reason I just want to try this again. Oh well, worth a try. I can't get this pipe, doesn't want to. You stay there? Yeah, you stay there. Okay. Right, let's have a better look at this crank pulley. You've got this big thing here, this big nut. Can't get anything behind there. It's leaking there. That sounds like it's definitely going to work 100% perfectly, doesn't it? Everything else looks in pretty good shape though, doesn't it? But still, right. Someone's stocking. It's a bit rough, isn't it? Right, so have I got anything inside that? Nope. What's behind it? Let's get a twist on that. Is that keyed? So as you can see, there's absolutely nothing on there that I'm going to be able to get any kind of turning force on. It's just a big smooth disc, which is really annoying, isn't it? So I put this back in, and we are going to have to get underneath to try and turn the engine backwards, and then failing that, I can hear the petrol and stuff leaking through, but failing that, we're going to have to get the head off. Not what I wanted to be doing, let's be honest. Okay, right, where does that go? That goes in there. I'm really intrigued as well if I was just turning this nut, this bolt, or if I was actually turning the engine. I'm convinced this valve at the back here is our problem. Problem is as well is I have to use this thing. I haven't got a socket that'll fit over that because of the starting handle. Using science, I now know that that valve is moving when I hit it because everything's coming up. Same as this one. Oh. So maybe that's free. Is the engine going to be free? I don't think so. Might take that home and wash it, see if it fits me. Right, it's just it's a bit of a ball like this, isn't it? How's your week going? So the sit rep is that because of this wonderful design, I just can't get a proper purchase on that with the adjustable. I haven't got a socket that will go over it because of this, because it sticks out too far from where the nut is. Anything else? Yeah, can't get any purchase on this big disc, and there's nothing behind it. I don't want to damage anything behind it because it's quite a important part. The head separates here. I mean, I could take it off with the inlet manifold on it, and you know, it's fairly straightforward, and then just buy a gasket and torque it all down again, maybe some bolts. I've poured loads of stuff down these, and it's all leaked past, which is fantastic, isn't it? Yep. So yeah, bit of a ball ache. I can also see lots of like hammering marks on stuff, which is again just interesting, isn't it? Someone's definitely been here before. I would really be interested in getting this head off, but I feel that could be a little bit extreme this early on in the game. I'm going to have my dinner and think about it. I've finished my dinner, as you can tell. So I'm just going to try banging it over on the starter again, and if that doesn't work, then I don't know. you can see the stuff splashing up as I'm trying to turn over, so it is trying to move, just not quite able to. I want to put a mark on the crank and see if it's moving, you know. Holy cow, it is actually rotating. Holy cow. Oh. Okay, I've drawn a mark, scratched a mark in along here. Let's see if we can get that to turn. Definitely rotated, didn't it? Definitely rotated. We're not out of the woods yet. Let's just try that again, okay? I'm just gonna let it cool down for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna try that again. See if this start motor can get us out of the trouble, you know. The thing with the start motors is it's shocking it every time it does it. It's like ding, ding, ding. Whereas with this bar on this pulley, I can't do that. I just haven't got the ability to sort of do that really. I'm just pushing against it and it's just not working. But yeah, let's have another go at banging it over on the starter, because that's what start motors are for, you know, for starting cars and spinning engines over. Come on! Come on, baby! Spin that engine! Oh, come on! Spray all your love everywhere. Spray it. Yes! Oh! Oh, come on! What a mega result! You beauty! So happy with that. Cinderella may go to the ball, after all. Right, well. I think the best thing for me to do now is to have a tidy up, put the radiator back in, clean everything up round there, get the, let's see how easy it is to turn over by hand as well, just for fun. So good. Right, radiator back in, connect it up, put the rocker cover back on. Got a little bit of gasket maker I could use, and then clean everything up, and that'll be done for the day because the sun is working its way around. And now I can go and comfortably buy some more parts for it as well. Okay, right. I'll do all that and I'll see you in a few seconds. What up, lover muckers? It's day 3 and the sun is shining over there, not here yet because it doesn't come here until the afternoon. But I am fulfilled knowing that this engine turns over. Isn't that great news? So, a couple of things. I've got, oh, it's windy. I've got some stuff on order, some ignition stuff, leads, plugs, oils, everything that I need to make this go brum. But I need to get the tyres sorted. So today I've got a few other things to do in town, so I thought I'm gonna jack this thing up, get the 2 front wheels off, chuck those in the back of the vehicle, take those down to get remounted or new tyres put on if those are dead. And then yeah, when the parts arrive, we can come back, fit everything, and hopefully move this car if the clutch works. Find out if the brakes work, start to make a list of what else we're going to have to do to this thing to be able to legally, safely drive this on the road and get it all the way down to sunny Warwickshire. Exciting. Right, let's crack on. Just pumping this back one up, I'm going to do the other one as well to see if these are okay and if they hold air. I'm going to jack this thing up on its jacking point and we'll see if it snaps in half and we'll get that wheel off. It is about minus 500 degrees today, which is fine. I love working in the cold. God, look at it, it's no crunching at all. Right, I think we can get an axle stand under there somewhere. Oh, this is what I imagine working on cars in Siberia is like. I don't know if it's a good thing or not as well. Both front brakes are properly free. Remember, there's no brake fluid in this. So, I mean, that's just a whole different ball game entirely, isn't it? But we'll get these off and we'll have a little look at the brakes, see if there's anything obvious that I'm going to need to order as well so we can get the parts on the way. Quite big and heavy, those wheels. Oh, handy old rig. Right, let's go to town. You're not going to believe this, but it's the next day and water appears to be falling from the sky. Check out this cool little trolley I got for £30 from Halfords. £30. Fan belt, spark plugs, oil filter, oil, new distributor, which I don't know, fingers crossed. These H2 leads, which do have the wrong end, but I'm hoping the other Dizzy Cap that we've got will fit that and also have the right end for those. If not, we're in trouble. And of course, a 10x tea cake. Whoa, big old things these, you know, 45 quid each. And they are 205 70/15s, which is quite a big old chunky tyre. But yeah, we've got a couple of decent ones. This is a Churchill. That famous tyre manufacturer, Churchill. Doesn't that look better? Okay, pop that in there. It's handy that it's got a starting handle now for this purpose. Down it goes, and then up it comes, and then down it goes again. Oh. Right, there you go. That is in the right place-ish. I just want to check this against one of the other ones. A bit shorter, but should be okay. I wonder where the coil, this thing, originally mounted to on the engine. I might have to have a look for some pictures and see if there's like a bracket or something where it's supposed to sit. Try and get it in its original home. Failing that, we could just tie wrap it to the side of the battery or something, couldn't we? Excellent. Right, so this dizzy cap has the proper screw-in fittings, which is really good. So I'm hoping I can put this dizzy cap on the new distributor that we've got, so then it'll work, which would be super cool of it. Oh my god, is that a bug? Oh, it's massive. Let's just compare caps really quickly. So we've got a nice set of points all set up in there, that's lovely. So we're going to have to change the connector for that, that's fine. If it's the right one. Don't drop that. And this looks, it's pretty damn close, you know. These are all severely dead, so they can go. God, the inside. It just does not look good at all. So these HT leads screw in. The dizzy cap that was with the car, which was like new, is the right kind for these, that they screw in and it's all lovely. However, the dizzy cap with the new distributor doesn't have the screw in type. Handy, these were 30 quid, what a waste. So I haven't got any HT leads, really. I mean, I could just sort of, could just do that and put a bit of tape around them for now, I suppose. I'm just going to do a quick job of wiring this up and then we'll tidy it up afterwards, because I want to see, I want to get my multimeter out and I want to see if we've got power to the right places. Ace. So we've got ignition power to the coil, which means we've got ignition power to the dizzy, which is fantastic. So I've got to sort these HT leads out. I'll do that. Still can't crank it because it's full of like petrol in the cylinders, and I think if it's sparked, the whole thing might explode. So I do need to drain it out. But I just need to get down there, don't I? It's wet and cold, and okay, I'll do it. Also handy that someone wrote on the side of it, it wasn't the miles that the car's actually done, it's the firing order 153624, which means as the engine rotates, it goes 1, 5, 3, 6, 6, 2, something like that, and then it makes power. So I'm going to put the HT leads on based on that. I'll have a quick Google and make sure that's right. We'll have a look in that manual that I've got, make sure that is correct. I think it is. It's always worth checking. So I'll put those HT leads together, and then we will do this oil at some point, maybe in the morning now, thinking about it, because it's very cold. Because the cap only goes on one way, like so, we can see the rotor arms pointing to number 1 where it's at top dead center. So that's where number 1 spark plug lead is going to. And if you see on there, there's a little arrow, which is the direction that spins. So if we look at that there, it says number 5 is next. So we know that it wants to spark number 5 next. So that is going to go to there. Science! I bet you're just sort of sitting there on the couch. Are you on your second brew, third brew? Piece of cake? This thing is truly in impeccable shape. Yes. It's that petrol and diesel based oil. There's quite a lot in there. Now I'm 99.4% sure that this is the wrong oil filter, but I'm going to take the other one off, have a look and maybe empty it out. Try and get all the petrol out of it, you know. I can't take it off. Need a strap thing. My claw won't reach over it. So I guess we're running on that oil filter until I can get underneath it properly. Oh, it's never happened before. Right, drink this, you fat slug. Little over the H for high, I imagine, but that's fine. Should we twist the key on this bad boy and see what happens? I think we should, just for some fun, because I'm not doing anything else tonight. But we can at least see if we've got spark or something, couldn't we? Well, it sounds like an engine, doesn't it? It's probably getting a bit late for this, isn't it? Realistically, but I just want to give it a quick go, see if we've got a spark, and then if we haven't, I'll shut it down for the night and we'll join it again tomorrow, you know. Sounds compression-y, which is a very good thing to see. Wonder if Dickie will twist the key for us. Hey? Right, go on again. Oh, nice, yeah, lovely spark. Interesting, hang on, that'll do. Right, okay. I think I've got a short somewhere. I've got to find out where it is. Right, okay, yeah, that'll do. No, not getting nothing. I need to have a, yeah, I'll have a look at it in the day. I can't see anything. Whoa. Over and out. I'm going to get this car running today. Last night was it was good. We got, you know, a few things done. Pleased with the progress, but in the cold light of day I had noticed a couple of things, such as we had quite a bit of wires that were sort of fouling on things and stuff, so I just, you know, we just needed to go through everything. So I've done that again this morning. The HT leads, these things weren't reaching all the way in the bottom. It was just a ball ache because it's not the right dizzy cap. I couldn't use the brand new ones I bought because it's a different distributor for the car. I couldn't find the right lead, so I've just, this is a mishmash of all leads I could find around the workshop, everything. So I hope it's going to work. In fact, that one needs changing as well, because that isn't long enough to get down into the hole, and there was no continuity. But I've got some other bits and bobs lying around. I'm sure we'll find one that will do the trick. So anyway, I'm going to do all that, and then we're going to try and see if we've got a spark. If we have, we're going to try and fire this thing up. Go on then, give that a twist. Do you want to try it again? Oh, it's got no power to anything now. Has something blown maybe? How frustrating. Is the ignition on?
No, not now. Turn it off.
Can you turn it on?
It's on.
No spark.
Ignition's still on.
Yeah, I'm just not getting nothing. So I'm getting like an intermittent spark on the points there, but nowhere else. And this thing here was loose, is loose. Oh, it's hot as well. Tighten that up. I think this car might have been built by the same bloke that built that Van den Plas that we did in the last video. Well, dude.
Henry Cole doesn't have this problem.
I know, well, he doesn't fucking do anything, does he?
No, that's true. He makes a brew, doesn't he?
He does.
Of course, goes to the coffee bar.
Exactly. Oh god, it's cursed. For some reason there's a bloody red light on the dashboard. Yeah, that'll do. Off. And again. Interesting, I've got a spark there, okay. Right, hang on. Let me just swap that wire out and we might be
And scratch me out.
onto something.
Towel yourself down after having a shower or a bath. Or you're getting in bed and the sheets just catch you. Bloody hell. And
you snag one.
Yeah, you go back downstairs then.
Yeah.
Get the sharpest knife you can, cut into your finger.
What for?
Get the splinter out.
Oh, but the thing is, it's been messed about with. So you've seen all the, look at all the gauges in the middle.
Yeah.
none of them are standard.
No.
That's all stuff that someone's added on, but the wiring's just been butchered for it all.
It's Rob.
Yeah, it's definitely Rob. But I, you know, I don't know what they've done. Just trying to second guess everything.
You're second guessing. You have to go back and trace and go back over what you've done. I'm thinking, have I done that right? No, I've done it wrong.
That's
well,
it.
why have I done it wrong? Then it should be right.
Right, go on then. Oh my god, I've got a spark at the spark plug. Look at that, right. And again. Right, cheers mate. Bit of a Phantom of the Opera this car. Don't know what was wrong with that. I mean, it got a little bit hot last night, so maybe a resistor's gone or something in it, I don't know, but it's not working. I was not getting a spark out of it, despite giving the right power to it and stuff. So I've rebuilt this old distributor that I got with it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the vacuum advance working, but at least I can get the thing running without the vacuum advance. I'm going to put this back in, put the original cap back on, which will give me the opportunity to put the brand new screwy type leads on as well, which is super exciting. And then we'll chuck some easy start down it, see if she comes to life. What happens to just changing fuel pumps and putting new HT leads on and driving away, you know? It's a bit arduous, this, having to completely rewire electronic circuits and undo other people's business. Right, old distributor back in. I'm hoping it's roughly in the right place timing wise. HT leads are on. Let's twist the bloody key, eh? Oh, put these back on for laugh. Come on, baby! Come on, you can do it! Oh, oh. I'm hearing putts. Come on, which way should we go? Let's go that way a touch. This is gonna run, I'm sure of it. Come on, you beauty! Come on! There's a spot, you Dickie! Can you see? Did you hear?
I heard it, yeah.
Bloody thing ran!
Because the shouting louder than the fucking car.
Oh, Jesus, wept. Right, what do you want to do? Do you want to have a go?
What did you do? Just turn the key, did you?
Yeah, go on, give it a spin. Oh, there's a bit of stuff there. I think that's. Did you switch it off then?
At the same time it died. Try it again.
I think it's just running off easy start, but go on. Oh.
That sounds like a Rover engine.
As sweet as a nut, isn't she? Am I relieved? Yes, I am. We're running, and we could run without sort of vacuum advance. I can try and maybe rebuild it, have another look at it, pull it apart and have a look at the springs and stuff if I fancy, but we'll see how well it runs without it. Vacuum advance only really starts to work when you're really winding it up anyway, which I can't imagine we're massively going to. Oh, look at that in there. Why is it so black and horrible? Now, I wouldn't normally just go and throw a lot of petrol in any old tank, but there's that fuel pump there which looks fairly and is working. So, and the car looks super solid underneath, doesn't look very rusty at all. So I'll fill this and I'll have a pop my head underneath, see if I can see anything leaking out, and you never know, it might just chuck some into the engine. So put fuel in, you can see the fuel filter there, and it's having a little leak, but you can see it is getting fuel. It's pouring out. So I just need to put a little Jubilee clip on that, I think. And then, yeah, might be good to go. Fuel pump is pumping and nothing is leaking out of the front. Now I'll put a little Jubilee attachment on there. Will she run? Bloody hell, listen to this thing go. Just turn that choke down a snatch. Whoa. Hey, let's jump in. Oh. Right, so the choke's either on or off. Are we getting fuel? I've got vacuum leaks everywhere. I did forget about that, but yeah, there is vacuum leaks everywhere, so we need to get those plugged up. Let me go and take this tubing and try and find a little bit, and then I'll do the other vacuum leaks, and then we'll see how she runs then. But I'm sure she's getting fuel, and hopefully the carb's just coming back to life. It's coming. Definitely getting fuel, just not enough. So good getting a bit of warmth in there. Now I'm trying to get it to idle, but there's also a couple of other problems with getting it to idle. I haven't got a fan and I can't get one. Tried everywhere online, I can't get a fan, so we could just fill the cooling system up and have the belt going and all that, the water pump going, and to be honest, in this sort of temperatures we could run it quite a while without a fan like that until the radiator gets really hot, if this whole water system's okay. But I do need to get a fan, or you know, if all else fails, I can nip to Demon Tweaks and get a universal electric rally fan and just put that on, so it's not the end of the world. That, of course, the belt that I got for it is completely the wrong size. Cool. So thankfully we've still got this, so I can measure that and get one from JB's tomorrow, which is a little bit annoying because I wanted it to run properly tonight. But yeah, I'm just still pretty happy that it is actually running. I don't know about you, but we've been waiting long enough, haven't we? Fuck's sake. So yeah, a little bit more of a mess about, but that might do it for today because it is getting quite late and I need to go and get one of those belts from Jim Barrow. So I might start to have a clear up, maybe top up the water system and stuff like that, and yeah, we'll see how she looks tomorrow. How cool was that? She did actually idle for a bit. I want to see if it moves. Should we see if it moves? Let's see if it moves. It's supposed to be tidying up, but I'm just playing with my old Rover. These sun visors are really cool. It works! The clutch works! Quite a few of these gauges work as well. No more running until we've got a water pump and some water inside her, because I don't want to get her too hot. Why is that red light on though? I've got to disconnect the battery, but still. What amazing progress today. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to get sorted out. I'm going to head to Jim Barrow first thing tomorrow and come straight here. I'll see you then. Bye. A few delays and stuff, because it's the start of the year. I've got to do stuff for the other jobs that I have and things, which is a bit of a pain, isn't it? But I'm here, it's about 1 o'clock. Not ideal, I've got 3 hours of daylight left, but it runs. Who cares, man? It runs. It's fine. Let's just jump in it now and drive straight there. Be fine. Well, before we do that, we need to sort this cooling system out. Now, I've plumbed the radiator back together. That's all good. I've put the new fan belt on that I picked up this morning. However, when this has been converted from the old school generator to this new alternator for better better electrical performance, they haven't secured it in any way. On the bottom, there's no bottom bracket, there's only this top bracket. So I'm just going to see if it works and everything for now, and if it does, then when we get the car inside, we'll have to pull this out, get it up on the ramp and see if I can build anything on the bottom to keep this in place, which again is just another thing to add to the list, isn't it? But it's fine. So all the radiators all plumbed in now. I'm going to fill this baby with water, and I think there's a cap down here for it somewhere. Yeah, just there. Okay, we'll stick some coolant in it as well, and then we'll fire it up and we'll see if we're getting a charge off the alternator, and we'll see if we've got any big water leaks or anything anywhere, you know. But I'm feeling good, so let's do that. Right then, let's see if this thing A, fires up, and B, if it sort of circulates anything, and if this belt doesn't fly off because it's not tight and things, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Also, I put a load of brake fluid in it last night and it's still there at the same level. Nothing's leaked out. Why would it have no brake fluid in it though? It doesn't evaporate. Right, okay. Keys. I think I've left them inside. Here we go. Ooh. Close. Should we give it a little helping hand? Because it is cold and I don't know if I've got the timing and stuff in the right place. In Australia they call this start you bastard, and I think in America as well. If you are from Australia or America, can you confirm in the comments? Oops, don't scratch the paint. It was spinning round quite happily then, that's really good news. Cool, 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 cool. Water pump was as well. Yeah, cool, okay. God, it sounds good. That's spinning around really nicely. God, that sounds really well. I love a straight six. Some of the best driving I've ever done in my life has been behind the wheel of a straight six car. BMWs usually. But I do love them. And listen to how sweet that is. And I've only guessed the timing, I've not even moved it yet. Sounds amazing, sounds so good. Oh, sounds like it's going to die. No, quite a bit of blue smoke coming out of the exhaust, but I think that's all the crap that we put in the engine and stuff, you know. Don't think there's anything to worry about. Sounds really good. Definitely sounds like it's mostly running on all six. Choke's all the way out. Vacuum gauge is working, it's good. Oil temperature, don't know yet. Oil pressure, it's a pretty decent number. Don't know what that is. Temperature gauge. Battery charge is showing a battery charge, but we'll put the multimeter across it. I think I've disconnected that, otherwise that might work. Not sure about that. Fuel gauge does move when I press that, but again, not sure. And water, we'll have to wait and see. Well, look at this. Have we got an indicator somewhere? Look at that indicator. Come on. Just going to put the multimeter across the battery, see if we get a charge. Starting to squeal now. Tighten it up as we go. All that crap burning off. I think a thermostat may have just opened, unless it's all pouring out from somewhere. No big leaks, but that's really good news, isn't it? Just need to sort all this stuff out because it's all lying around on here a little bit, and this is getting very, very smoky here. But I think it's just all the oil hasn't run for years. Right, so I'm going to tidy everything up on here, put some more coolant in it. Look, I'll do this now while you're watching. Just let that circulate a bit. So I've just tidied everything up by means of tie wrapping stuff off the head to keep them sort of from melting, and just hid the dizzy over there on the battery and just a few little things like that. I will tidy it up properly when we go inside, but I just want to see if everything moves and stuff on the car. Brakes still topped up. I haven't tried that pedal yet. I think this is our next job, is to try that brake pedal. But to do that, we're going to have to see if the car moves. So I'm going to empty everything off here, tidy it all up, and then we're going to try and just go backwards and forwards in this old bus after sitting for so long and just generally being in a quite poor state of disrepair. And if it does, we're going to pull it over there and wash the thing. We asked 1,000 expectant mothers whether or not the brake pedal would work on this 1962 Rover 100. Our survey said no. Well, we'll let that develop, I think. Right, let's see if this car will move over there so we can wash it. Doesn't like the forwardness. Okay, well, before I apply the clutch, I think that back rear wheel just doesn't want to play. The other one's spinning, and the two front ones we found before were free. But that one in the corner there doesn't want to do anything. It is in a place where I can wash it there though, so I'm going to do that, and then we will try and manhandle it into the workshop, get it up in the air, and we can have a look at the brakes. This is Rhino 105, and this is just acid essentially. So I'm going to get it wet, and I'm going to give it a dribble of the acid, and then we're going to snow foam it, and then we're just going to jet wash it off, and then we're going to give it a scrub. But I'm not going to let you sort of sit through all of that at this pace. I'm going to speed it up for you. Cue the music. there we have it then. I mean, bit of a mad one when I was washing this. You can see some real interesting methods of restoring a car in terms of like just, oh, I missed a bit there, I'll get it now. Just like painting over everything, including all of the chrome trims just been painted over, and you can see like the alley of the bonnet there, maybe, I don't know, or was it silver at one point? And yeah, just everything's been just painted over. Very, very strange, very weird, but a lot of it has come off, and the rest, I suppose, with a bit of thinners, it just tidy right up. But I don't know if we're going to have time to do that with this car, and it is massive. The whole thing's huge, so like getting round and doing it all, probably a job for the next owner. But it looks like it's been roller painted, not brush painted, as you can see there, which again is interesting. But it doesn't look the worst I've ever seen. I have got some MOT in a can, which I can spray on some places, like for example this bit here where there's been a bit of a fiberglass repair, so I can tidy up those bits. And I did go mental the other day and spend almost £200 on a front bumper that we're missing with the proper number plate support and stuff. So that's arrived. What am I like? And yeah, we will get that on, but I will tidy everything up as best I can and make it look nice. For now though, I've got to give it a snow foam, give it a proper scrub with a brush, and then rinse it all off again and then get it inside. Listen to it idle now. I've just turned the choke off. No smoke, nothing, she's idling like a brand new car. She wants to live, this thing, I'm telling you, she wants to live. Look at that horrible thing. Jesus Christ. I just heard someone shouting and then I looked down and it was that. Bloody hell, what a horrible looking monster. When I get too close, might jump on me and burrow under my skin. Right, drop this thing down. And hopefully I can just reverse it straight back over there. Minimal fuss. And then we'll get her up in the air and we'll have a look underneath. Cool. Rather disrespectfully, I thought, when I switched it off there and went to start it again, or when it died and I went to start it again, I couldn't get it restarted. Annoying. Now, I don't know what that was. Maybe, hopefully something's got wet and we'll try it again when it's all dried out. But it is potential that that's the reason that they started messing about with the ignition and changing everything and messing about with the distributor and stuff, because that's the problem. Because my old Scimitar, when I had the AccuSpark thing, not this one, Power Spark, but I don't know, they're the same people, same stuff from China, I'd imagine. That's what it did. It would run until it was warm and then it just refused to start again. So I wonder, after we've had a look underneath, when it's cooled down, we drop it down, if it'll start again. If it does, I'm going to buy another distributor for it. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Real solid old bus, isn't it? Look at the sort of clag iron wishbones and things. I mean, it's real, and again, just in fantastic condition. And I've said it a million times before, this is the beauty of the old sort of, you know, hammerite and underseal and all that sort of stuff. Everybody hates that sort of stuff nowadays. Oh, you know, Lanagard this and BuzzFeed that and whatever else it is. But look, you know, this is why I believe in it, the proper sort of Schultz underseal, because it does just work. This car's 62 years old, you know. This is interesting though, isn't it? Why is that gearbox so clean? Bit of an oil leak from the something or other there. Something's leaking oil, definitely. That's the oil filter that I couldn't remove yesterday. A little bit of a torpedo thing, but yeah, bit of an oil leak there. Don't know what it's from. That's your brakes there, but again, brake lines look like they're new and have been replaced. Weird. Is that brake light switch there? Is that interesting? We'll have a look at that. Yeah, very, very strange. No brakes. Yeah, all good. I am seeing a lot of aluminium in this though, so I mean that does help, but so there, oh good grief, what's supposed to be in there? Is that like a reverse light switch or something? Can see more work up there. There's a cable. Where does that? This is very interesting. Again, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a minefield, isn't it? As long as it works, so that's all that sort of matters. Exhaust in excellent condition. You know, all these inner sills and everything. Look at them; they're just perfect nick. Everything's really good. That old suspension, what's it called? What are these? Leaf springs have been wrapped. Never seen that before, but I haven't been under many cars this old. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. So what's this? Ah, so that's the original. So when it said the battery is under the rear seats, that's where it was supposed to be, but obviously it's been relocated at some point, so we'll have to smash this back and put that back in there. Interesting. Just trying to see brake lines. Right, there we go, there's brake lines. Again, looking fantastic condition. Recently been replaced. That's the front to back one there. That's the handbrake mech. Now this wheel, I think... Oh, God, it's not free at all. And this one we know, super stuck. So both rear brakes super stuck, so we'll have to open them up and see just what's going on. But, you know, everything else-wise, bit of a tuck there. Bash that back into shape, but yeah, everything else real nice. Bit of a solid motor we've got ourselves here, again, which I like. Showing everything doesn't work on it and it needs completely rebuilding. What a cool looking thing though. Let's start with this handbrake thing here, which does feel a bit solid. This pulls in, these pull out, handbrake shoes come in. You'd hope. So I'm going to give this some light taps with a hammer because I don't want to break it like I broke the last one. Oh, it's pretty solid, isn't it? Oh, that should be really free. I should be able to just move that, and I can't. So I'm going to cover it in stuff. I'm going to take the wheels off, and we're going to see if the problem's inside there. Oh, sorry about that. Am I really going to be driving this thing in a few days? Doesn't feel like it. Oh, lots and lots of stuff. Oh, but they look in very good salvageable condition, which is great. These shoes look in excellent condition. And the cylinder looks pretty good as well, you know. So yeah, you can see, I mean, all this is in really good shape. It looks like it's had, you know, some servicing not that long ago, really. But yeah, look. Not bad. Not bad for an old British car. Right, I'm going to try and find the adjustment on these. I'm going to try and sort this thing out here. And we'll do the same to the other side. Don't know how well you can see this, but the adjuster is just with one little click, it's completely freed off. It's working perfectly well. You can see the movement of the shoes, we do it slowly. Can you see them? Pretty good. So I'll set it to sort of its lowest point, which I think is there. Doesn't go any lower than that, does it? No. So at least that'll help with getting the shoes back on and off, and I'll give these a bit of a brake clean, try and make it as nice as I can in there. But not bad. I think I might have found the culprit for our woes. This Girling 301120 brake cylinder. You can see there it's all a bit rusty and crappy. Inside here is pretty much seized. I can't force the pistons back in at all. Managed to make this one move a tiny bit, but this one's locked solid. So yeah, I might have to buy a couple of new ones of those, but I don't think it'd be too much love lost, because obviously then we can change the handbrake, you know, mech, and if all this is all seized up in there, it's just going to do a good thing if I can get hold of them. But I'm going to have a little look on the internet. How much for a brake cylinder? Brake cylinder's usually about a tenner each. So what do you reckon? It's a bit of a rarer car, isn't it? Maybe 15, maybe 20. Rare as rocking horse. I found a pair for 200 quid. So what I'm going to do is, I found on the internet pictures of how the handbrake slide and mech and everything works. I'm going to take it all apart on the car, try and take the bleed nipple off and try and sort of move these pistons backwards and forwards, see if we can get any fluid coming past, and just try and make these ones work. Even a rebuild kit I can't get hold of, and even then it's a bit rusty on the inside. It's never that, don't tend to work too well on older stuff. So yeah, let's get stuck into that. If we can fix it without spending any money, that'd be loads better, even if it takes me the rest of today. Okay, it's a good job we got it in here when we did, because it is now raining quite heavily. It is open, so we should see brake fluid pouring out of there, but we're not. So behind this little plate is a slider that moves on a little sort of cammed bit, if you like, but sort of a flat cam. And it's full of crap, which is what we wanted to see. So can you see there? This is supposed to go in and out, and it is sort of tapered up and down there. So as it goes in and out, oh, can you see it? Ah! It's sort of supposed to do stuff, but as you can see, this one isn't particularly doing stuff. So I'm going to pull it apart, give it a real good clean, put it back together. So there we go, I've sort of cleaned it all up as best as I can, and I'll put these two sort of pushers back in. I think they sit like that. Now that should be moving easier. Was that the top one maybe? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, much nicer. So I'll try and show you this, but as you can see, when that pulls, it pushes down on these, and that's your handbrake. So I'm going to put the plate back on, if I can find it. Where's it gone? And then, yeah, brake clean everything, put the drum back on, go over to the next side, and then we're just going to look at trying to bleed everything up. I think that's all we can do. So the good news is we now have brake drums that spin. Great. And everything's been adjusted up and the handbrake seems to work, which is fantastic. Let's see if we can... There you go. So it does work. Maybe a little bit of adjustment will be good, but I think it should be fine. The only thing we need to do is pray that those wheel cylinders come back to life, because both bleed nipples are open, no fluid. I don't think my easy bleed system cap is going to fit the top of this, so I need to find someone to stand on the brake pedal for me, and then we'll have a look at this master cylinder and just try and get some sort of brake pedal. Trying my best to get some sort of fluid coming from these, but it's just not. I've cracked all the bleed nipples on the car and we are getting a couple of little tiny drips now, so I'm just going to leave them to sort of gravity bleed and I'm going to do something else. Now, this book, Rover Owner's Instruction Manual, so handy, and it's just given me, where has it gone? All the details on how to time the car, because it's not like a normal thing where there's stuff on the bottom crank pulley and things, so you've got to work it off. Sorry, battery died then. As I was saying, it goes off these flywheel markings, so that's how you time it, and then you mark it, you rotate it so it's in the right place, and then you put the points just as they're opening when number one cylinder is about to fire. Cool, totally get that. Now I've found the plate, and interestingly you can just see it down there. I'll try and sort of zoom in, but you can see it's like half off. So someone's been down there and they have been doing things to it already, which is very, very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to undo it. I'm going to have a little bit of a clean of everything around it, and I'm going to try and get it to where it should be, and then we'll know we've got the timing right on the engine, which means I can run it up for a bit longer without worrying about, you know, my overheating things and stuff like that, because if you don't get it quite right, it can run a bit hot or a bit lean or a bit, you know, all that sort of good stuff. So let me do that, and I'll let you know how I get on. Don't know if you can see that there. It's difficult to get the camera in, but you can see white lines have been painted on there, covering my numbers that I need to see. Great. So I'm just going to have a look and see what's what, try and clean it up a bit, and then yeah, we'll try and set the distributor to that position. I've identified my mark, put some new white pen on it, and tried to rub out the old white pen that was on there. I don't know if you can see it very well. Now, it doesn't have points, does it? Because it's this bloody AccuSpark thing again. Power spark. So I'm going to have to use the timing light on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor that and make sure it is perfect as number one cylinder is sparking. So as number one cylinder sparks, sends a signal to this through this. This does a light, and then if those marks are the same in the right position, when the light comes on from this, then we know it's all timed up. That was brilliant. I just messed about with them to make sure that I was on my timing line, and it was perfect straight away. Woo! Just pull it back. It's weird, it doesn't want to fire up again now. Almost like it's completely lost spark. Is that shorting out on anything or pulled anything out? Did I move anything then? Not sure I've done. No spark. Oh, I hate these electronic ignitions. I hate them. Right, I'm gonna have to get another distributor ordered, I think. Back to points. That one must have been knackered. It's only 30 quid. I need points in my life. At points you can check, you can see if the power's going to every single bit of points. That is smoke and mirrors in there. Like, it's a sealed box. I can't tell what's going on. It's being fed power. I've got no spark. Coil's putting out power. Everything's happening. I've just not got spark. Don't think it's a coil issue at all. I've got other coils I could try, but I don't think it is because the coil's reading perfect. Never usually have coils go wrong either. Right, okay. Let's find something else to do. This car is definitely the Phantom of the Opera Rover. It's giving me headaches. I've just spent the last sort of hour or so trying to diagnose this non-spark. I've redone all the wiring for everything, so it's all new and fresh and nice. Trying a different coil, been messing about with everything in here, and I'm just getting nowhere with it. So I've tried different distributors, tried another distributor off another car, just can't quite get it. I've tried wiring it directly from the battery, all sorts. I think we've got that one I've managed to get working, and this one I haven't. This is an old one off another car. This one I haven't, so something inside there has gone wrong. So I'm going to order a new one and a new coil and the right HT leads for it because of the HT lead problem we had with that. I think the lack of spark in this may be something to do with that flex there. Again, I just don't know. People shouldn't mess with these things. Distributors, they're very pernickety, you know. And every car that I've come across recently has just had the whole distributor wiring and everything to do with it just butchered, and the distributors themselves butchered. So I'm just going to try and put all brand new stuff on it, and fingers crossed that'll get us going again. Very, very frustrating. And I think as well, if I'd have put this back up, let it cool down or something, it probably would have worked, but I'm not in the market for sticking a load of AccuSpark stuff on it. Unfortunately. So yeah, right, I'm gonna call it a day for today. I'm gonna let the brakes gravity bleed overnight, hopefully, and come in tomorrow, big tidy up, and hopefully we'll have the bits arriving Tuesday, and we can try and get a run in again. And in the meantime, I could maybe start bolting some stuff back together. The good news is it's been snowing. The bad news is I forgot my woolly hat. So my ears are cold. Other good news though is I have a box here, and inside it should be a couple of brand new coils, which should be nice, and a lovely replacement distributor for that thing there. And there was also a note in there saying, please stop slacking us off on YouTube. Sorry about that. Right, so I'm going to fit all these new bits, and I'm going to get this mounted properly down here because I found out that that's where it lives. A couple of cool things like that, and then I'm going to try and fire her up, see if we get a spark. We're all mounted up properly where we should be. Everything's in and all the wiring's brand new. If this doesn't work, I'm going to throw my toys out of the pram. Don't know what that means. I haven't got any toys. Give it a whiff of this. Every little helps. Well, that was brilliant news, wasn't it? The thing bloody fired. Right, let's try and get this timing spot on. So interestingly, running, but I'm not getting it's missing. I'm not getting some sparks. I like last cylinder there wasn't getting anything. Number 2 as well. Could it be these leads? Don't know. Right, let me have a little bit more of a play and we'll try and get running on all 6 again. I am pretty sure everything's okay, but for some reason we're still not performing exactly how I wanted. So I'm just going to check a couple of things like the dashpot oil, which I probably should have done before, but it was running so well, didn't need to. So I'm going to check that and yeah, try it again, but I'm pretty sure we are there or thereabouts, but at least it's running again. What a pain this has been, you know, taking its bloody time, isn't it? I did top that up with a bit of oil, it was okay, but I did. But we're idling really nice. I'm happy with that there though. I'm going to lock that off and we can finally move on. She's on the button. Great news! It's taken us long enough, and that is, unfortunately, the elephant in the room. Now, we're probably 2.5 hours into this video, and yeah, I mean, she's now running back well, rear brakes are freed off. However, realistically, am I going to be able to get this whole thing finished, drive it down to Warwickshire, to the factory, before Friday? It's now Tuesday. The answer's no. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm still waiting for other things, you know. Not ideal. So we're going to do a 2-parter. Come on! Just more entertainment. I'm going to finish off this episode by trying to have a bit more of an in-depth look at these brakes, try and get them working, and then we're going to take this car for a proper spin around the yard. And the next episode is all going to be focused on tidying this thing up, building it all back together, making it look as regal as I think it should, as a proper Viking car, you know. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to take it on the road and we're going to go for a big cool spin. But I just wanted to say a big thank you to the Patreoners. Now, I can't do this without the help of the Patreoners and the help of all of you guys watching this video as well, but that extra little bit of money that I get just allows me to just come in and spend the time that I do and buy these things. Everything with this car is hugely expensive. If I can't get this master cylinder working, I'm looking at 140 quid for one, you know. Not ideal. So yeah, look, there's a link in the description. If you want to join in, go up there, click on it, go and have a look through. If you sign up, there's loads of other videos and stuff on there of just like when I go and pick cars up, when I go and collect things and behind the scenes stuff. And it is pretty cool, and there's a good little community on there. So if you want to be a part of that, go up and do it. And a few people have joined since I last mentioned the Patreon. So I'm gonna put the names of them on the side of this car. So yeah, great. Thanks very much. Let's get stuck into these brakes, and fingers crossed we can make it move without crashing into something. Dickie's going to come and stand on this pedal for me, so I'm going to send him up in the air. And as much as you can. Oh yes! Right, we've got a proper, haven't we? Let's try some run. And off again. And on. Oh God, solid. Well, at least we've got a handbrake if we do decide to take her on the road, you know. Who needs a foot brake? Right. So yeah, off with that. And then with your foot brake now, it's this little master cylinder here, which is, I think, causing all of our problems. Can you just press the foot pedal down? Man, I'm taking this right out and it should be pissing out the fluid, but it's just not at all. Oh, hang on, maybe it is. So a replacement one of these, Dickie, is 140 quid. Hence why I'm trying to fix this one. At least I know the master cylinder is being fed. It's pouring out all over the fucking floor. I can't bloody hell back in. It's not as nothing. Bloody brake pipe is stuck inside the union. Do you know what I mean? Can you press the brake slowly for us? Keep doing that. Can you fire the car up and do it? Right, so I've just been testing the master cylinder and it's completely buggered. So Dickie, press the brake for us. So Dickie's pumping away, as you can see there, but I am getting nothing out of there. That should be pushing loads of brake fluid out. It's just dribbling out from the feed from there, but no pressure behind it at all, nothing. So the seals have gone inside there and it's just not doing anything hydraulically. Annoyingly, that brake pipe snapped as well while I was taking it off. So I've got to put a new brake pipe on there and a new master cylinder. Cool! There we are then. Brake master cylinder fixing kit is on its way. Need to do that brake pipe as well. So as soon as that arrives, we'll do those. It's going to be really good to get this car moving because, you know, two big things that you need in a car is brakes and an engine. We've done the engine, let's get the brakes sorted, you know, and then at least in the next episode we can transform it, make it look amazing. You know, take amazing with a pinch of salt, like, but we're going to make it look a lot better for when we take it all the way down to Warwickshire. But yeah, biggest task to date, this car, I think. Just in terms of everything that needs going through and the whole rebuilding process. Right, okay, cool. I'll see you, for me, in a day or so, and for you, a few seconds. It is absolutely Baltic. Right. Massive thank you to Class Parts, spelt like that, for in 24 hours sending me a gasket and a seal kit for the brake master cylinder, and I've got a new rad cap to go on the radiator. So I'm going to take this master cylinder off now. It's -3 degrees, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that. And I'm going to fit this seal kit, put it back on, try and bleed the brakes again. This is something I haven't actually introduced you guys to before. This is my parts washer with a little homemade sort of immersion heater modification, which you definitely shouldn't do because of the fumes, but if you do want to do it, it makes everything 10 times better. So it's a perfect opportunity. I haven't used it in probably over a year. So this is the master cylinder that we've just taken off, and it is very mucky, you know. So I thought, well, instead of just banging it back on the car like it is, let's get some heat into my hands and use the parts washer. In it goes. I've got to plug some stuff in, and then I've got to put some of this in, and then I've got to put some water in. Oh God, I haven't got any water. Oh no, because of the ice. Right, okay, well, we'll think about that. But yeah, and then we'll give it a wash, we'll give it a clean. I need to get more of those, like, you know, racks on the wall so I can put all this stuff on. There's lots of stuff everywhere. I've managed to borrow some water from friendly neighbour, which is fantastic. So we are going to be able to do a little bit of cleaning. As we can see, that thing is heating all that water up pretty nicely. Pour a bit of this in, get some gloves, start cleaning. A little bit more water than what's on offer here probably would be nice, but it's definitely going to be enough to get this thing cleaned right up. And my hands are going to be warmer while we're doing it as well, which is partly the reason why I am doing this, to be honest. Not sure it's supposed to, I think it's supposed to be a bit more thingy than that, I don't know. Just pulled this back and yeah, it's pretty Genghis in there, very rusty and cruddy and just generally a bit minging. So clean this bit up a little bit more. The rest of it's come up dead nice. So yeah, clean all this bit up and then start getting stuck into some seals. What do all these parts do? I don't know. But yeah, it's come out of there and it is minging and all the fluid inside's a horrible colour and everything's pretty gross. There's a couple of seals inside there I've got to try and get out in one piece and replace them with the seals from here. It's not all that easy though. So yeah, I'm going to try give it my best shot and let you know how I get on. We're all back together and rather excitingly, it does look and feel and sound like a master cylinder, which is pretty interesting. Master cylinder's in with brake pipe Newydd, which is new brake pipe in Welsh. I can't feel my fingers, my toes, my nose, all my sort of dangly bits, they've all frozen, covered in crap. Workshop's incredibly messy and I've got probably an hour before it goes dark. I want to try and bleed this thing up. I need to try and get it driving. I want to have a go in it, you know, before we end this amazing episode. So I'm going to drop it down, fill it with brake fluid, give the pedal a few pumps and see if that master cylinder is looking like it's going to be a master cylinder. Not going exactly as I'd have liked. We seem to have sprung a bit of a water leak down here after I put this new cap on and pressurised it, so, which I think is the water pump, which is just great news, isn't it? Fantastic, love that. And yeah, it's taken ages to bleed. This is a bit extreme, I know, but I just getting stuff through the master cylinder is a nightmare. So I'm vacuuming it out, I'm sucking it out. I need to get a proper vacuum brake bleeder, but they are quite expensive. I think I can probably make one, but I haven't got time at the moment. So this is the top of a little spray bottle, and I've just connected it to a bit of hose, connected it to the brake bleed nipple, and I'm pulling the brake fluid through. And I can see it going through in little spurts, and hopefully we're going to get a brake pedal if I carry on doing this, covering my floor in brake fluid. But I'll put quite a bit of sand down there and sawdust, so we should be all right. But anyway, I'm going to continue doing this for the next 4 hours, which will be fun. To all 4 wheels. And then, yeah, we might stand a chance at a proper pedal. It is much later. You can't see anything because it is pitch black, but here I am driving this very old Rover with 4 fully functioning brakes around the yard. Handbrake's holding her there quite nicely, and she sounds great. and we've got a couple of lights. We've got no lights on the front, but we've got lights on the back. But she's going, and she does sound good. I wish it was daylight so we could get the tripod out and have a proper look, but you're gonna have to wait for the next episode because I need to get home and get in the bath and warm my bones. But yeah, I've done it. I've got brakes, engine runs, next stop, everything else. Join me in probably 2 weeks and this will be a different car, and we're gonna take it to Warwickshire, I promise. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram's the best, and TikTok as well, and there'll be updates of this throughout the next couple of weeks to see how I'm getting on. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a long one, it's been a lot of work. See you soon, bye.